Hello beauties, and welcome back to the Bumpy Bones Locksport channel. Now, I'm really excited to be recording this video today because I'm going to be opening and giving my first impressions on the Sandman Advanced Lockpick Set by Multipick. Now, Sandman is a fellow lockpicking YouTuber who has greatly inspired me. When I started my lockpicking journey, definitely the lockpicking lawyer and McNally, and I think it goes the same for a lot of us with those two, were definitely my starting inspiration. But ever since I started following Sandman, he has definitely become my main source of inspiration. And I've learned a lot through his channel and his content, and the guy does a lot of amazing work in the Locksport community. So I'm really excited to get my hands on a lockpicking set that he directly consulted on. Now before I open this, let's talk a little bit about this set. So the set goes for about $153 USA by Multipick. Multipick is a German-based company and they make really high quality picks. And it's a 29-piece set and it consists of Christina Palmer picks and various elite tensioners. Now he focused more on the picks instead of the tensioners, which I think was a really good idea. I'm not going to really talk a lot about the Christina Palmer picks. I am going to put a link in my description to a video that Sandman did where he talked really in detail about his source of inspiration for the picks in this set. Christina Palmer is a lockpick designer that has been very foundational in modern lockpick design. A lot of companies use her designs. You know, Covert Instruments is one. You can get them through All Lock Tools, Sparrows. A lot of different companies utilize the same designs by Christina Palmer. And one thing that that really caught my attention with this set was the leather case. I mean, I've seen the case on YouTube. I am really excited to finally get my hands on the multi-pick leather case because I think it's a really great case. And again, it's a German-based company, and they use spring steel in their picks, which is a really good steel for lockpicks. They're one of the few companies that actually use spring steel. Covert Instruments, Wall Lock Tools use 301 high yield stainless steel. And spring steel actually I think is me. I'm going to dare say it's I think a little better. I know I collect a lot of knives, and some of my best knives are actually made out of spring steel. Now, this comes with a lot of different picks, and I'm not going to go through all of them in great detail because I'm going to leave that to Sandman's video. This is just my first impressions on this set. But one thing that really caught my attention and what really drew me to this set was the fact that he's got so many hook picks in here, but he's got them in both the 0.6 millimeter and a 0.4 millimeter. So 0.6 is about 0.024, 0.025 inches, and then 0.4 is about 0.015, 0.016 inches. And I don't have a lot of picks in the 0.4 millimeter width. I've got a set coming from Wall Lock Tools that I ordered before this, but when I saw Sandman coming out, or not Multi-Pick coming out with a set that was consulted by Sandman, I just had to get it. And those 0.4 millimeter picks really come in handy because I'm starting to get into the more advanced, like ASA Abloy, the more advanced blue belt and higher locks on the lockpicking the United Lockpickers belt system. There we go. And I'm finding that the thinner picks actually really help with the more complex keyways. All right, so enough reading. Let's actually open this set. So again, I really love this case. I love the feel of it. And let's take a look at our picks here. All right, so the first thing that comes to mind is they are really nice. Um, let's look at the Christina Palmer rakes here. Now, I've got these rakes with Sparrow. And I think Covert Instruments also includes it with their Quint rake. It is a very similar design. Let's actually take a look at that real quick here. Yep, so their quint rake is really good, and then their quad rake, I think, is very close to it. Yep, so again, you'll notice that the companies will share similar designs because Christina Palmer has been so influential with her lockpicking design. But I really like the picks. They handle very similar to Covert Instruments. They are the sandwich style handles, so right out of the gate, I can work with this. I'm going to do my bowstring wrap on them just because that is what I'm used to. Sandman did talk about that you can do 3D printed handles with this, and I might look at that in the future. I really liked the handles that he was showing in his video and all that, and he sent me the source that he used for those, so I might outreach at some point and get it set. But I really like the bowstring handle, the texturing and all that. I think just is really great in terms of giving me a better grip on these. Um, Now, one thing that I am noticing is that, again, there's a lot of similarities with Covert Instruments, and the neck of the pick is very similar to the Covert Instruments. And I've talked about that design before. It's a floatane pick, which I absolutely love. I always like getting the floatanes rather than the partial tanes. In fact, I don't get partial tane because these are just so much better. All right, let's take a look at the hook picks. Oh, actually, there's one more rake pick. We got a Bogota here, which is, I actually am glad to get another one of these. I have a Bogota through Lolox, and let's take a look at that. Where did I put it? Here it is. And it's a similar profile. Again, you will find that lockpick companies utilize a similar design. The valleys are a little bit different. The peaks are a little sharper, I think. And then the valleys are a bit different in terms of the U, but very, very similar. So I'm actually kind of glad to get another Bogota. I'm not good with raking, so I'm glad to have different rakes available because I find those to be very, very useful. All right, so this is why I got this set. Is I've got let's see here, these are the .6 and these are the .4. And I like the designs of those. I like the profiles. And one thing that I am noticing is, let's look at the .4. I like that neck. You'll notice with the neck of the pick here, it's wider than the .6. And that makes sense because this is a thinner material, so having a wider neck actually improves the strength of the pick. Because don't forget, you're putting a lot of pressure and a lot of tension and stress on that pick head. And so when you have a thinner material, by widening the neck, you're allowing it to distribute that stress better. You can get a thinner neck with a thicker pick because there's more material. Um, I think, personally, again, this is just me blabbing, but I think if they did that a similar wider neck with the .6, you it would be a bit of a better design, in my opinion. And the way that I'm looking at it, I do a lot of knife collecting. And if you reverse this in terms of if this was the tane of a knife, because you can get a hidden tane knife, and the way that those work is like this would be your blade, and then your tane of the knife would look very similar, and then they would put this into a handle material. When you have such a sharp turn or sharp angle here, that can be a point of failure with a knife. And the concept works similar when you're looking at a lockpick because you're putting a lot of stress and tension at the tip here. If there's any flaw in the metal or in the cutting process that happened right where that angle is, that turn is, that could cause a problem, especially with it being so sharp. But again, Multipick is a really good brand. They make high quality tools. I haven't had an issue with any of the picks that I've got. I got a bunch of their 0.5 millimeter picks, and I love them. And so I don't see that being an issue. But again, I want to be a little nitpicky with some things because it's not a proper review unless if I am a little nitpicky. I love the profile. The profiles are really nice. It has a lot of varying profiles to it. And what's really nice about this set is you actually have the same profiles in the point 4 and the same profiles in the point 6. So I'm not going to go through all of them. Again, I'm going to link to Sandman's video, and he does a little bit of a deeper dive into these sets, and he's going to be releasing videos to talk a bit more about the specific sets as well. I love the design on the back of the handle here. I always like it when, lock companies do that little thing because it's kind of nice. Now, I am going to put my bowl string wrap on here, so it's going to hide that, unfortunately, but I like that still. All right, so, and the other thing I like about Multipick is they do label their picks, which I think is really nice because even though it doesn't really say the type of pick, I can go on their website, look up that number, and then say, oh, okay, this is like with this one here, this would be the flat the flat short hook, and so it makes identifying the pick really, really easily. And I love this case. The picks slide in really nice. Now, when I do my bowstring wrap, unfortunately, I don't think they'll fit in as nice. And I'm actually kind of going back and forth as to whether or not I want to do my bowstring wrap. I probably will. All right, so actually that's the point 4, so I want to throw that in here real quick. But I'll use this set when I travel. All right, let's look at the tensioners. Now, um, Sandman didn't really focus on the tensioners. And so you get, the pretty basic tensioners. These are very similar to the Covert Instruments. In fact, if I grab one of those here, you can see that, it's pretty much the same. Now, one thing that I am noticing with this is that we have a 1.3, a 1 millimeter, and a 0.8 millimeter, and then you got the Z bars that are the same here. And let's actually take a look at the widths because I did that when I was looking at the elephant trunks. And let's kind of do the same thing here. So let's turn this on, make sure we're zeroing on millimeters. So with the 1.3, we have that changed. All right. I was about to say they weren't that far off. All right, 1.28 millimeters, so that's really close. And then the 1 millimeter is 0.010 millimeter. All right, so they're really close to the actual measurements, which is really nice. Now, let's take a look at that 1.3 because I've got one of my favorite turning tools that I use is the 1.2 millimeter by Wall Lock Tools. And I'm curious if they are different, if I can feel a difference. I can't really feel a difference with it. Let's see what our caliper says. Alright, so there is a minor difference in it, so it will be interesting to see how that little bit of size difference um, plays when I'm using these on my locks and all that. Alright, and let's check the width of the picks here. So this is the, oh, that's a 0.4. Alright, this is a 0.6. I'm mixing them up. That there. Alright, so let's do a 0.6 first. So 0.59, so that's really close. And the 0.4, We've got 0.37, 0.38, so we're really close, so that's good. I actually kind of like them running a little thinner than they actually say, just because I think it gets you into more. But a really nice set. All right, let's go ahead and try opening a couple locks here. So I'm going to do a master lock just for the feel of things. And then let's do a American lock, and I want to use I'll grab these picks here for the American lock. All right, so let's throw that off to the side. And let's use I think I can use the 1.3 bottom keyway. That's this one here. Let's see if this one fits in there. All right, perfect. All right, so this is a master lock number 15. I actually just got this lock not too long ago. Again, very similar to Covert Instruments. All right, there we go. So we got that open. It's nice. I like it. You know, it's a really great pick. All right, so let's go ahead and now do the American lock here. Let me grab my vise, because we're going to do top of the keyway tension with this guy. All right, so I'm going to start with this pick, and let's do, I'm wondering if the 1.3 millimeter will fit still. Yep, all right, awesome. And that short hook works nicely with that. And this is kind of like why I like doing the bowstring wrap on my tensioning tools, is it does make it easier to hold. But that was a nice pick. I like that profile, and it fits nicely in the American lock. And that's one reason why I like that 0.4 millimeter, is that when you have a more paracentric keyway, now American lock isn't terribly paracentric, but you know, if I look at, like, say the um, Primus here, I can get that right up into the keyway with the Primus. If I look at my Medico here, um, you know, I can easily get in the middle of that Medico, and there's a little bit of warding. I don't know if it fully shows up in the video here that does restrict that. So I am really looking forward to using these picks more. I am going to do my bowstring wrap on them. So I'll have a more detailed review of this set at a later date as I use them more. You'll see me using them a bit more in my videos, hopefully. So I hope everyone found this video enjoyable. If you liked the video, do feel free to like and comment or subscribe to my channel. And as always, I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I will see you all later.